I'm warning you before you get into this tutorial for this move, Legolove, that anytime after this moment, once you've learned this move, you cannot go back. It is the most addicting move and I've done it non-stop since I've learned it. And in addition to that, it's a fantastic combo move. Whether to start in the middle or at the end of your combos, it goes in all three places. And on top of that, I'm gonna be showing you two different variations on how to do this move. One is the original and the other is the way that I've started doing it to make it a little bit more flashy on top of what it already is. But let's get into this tutorial. First, let's start with what the move looks like. So you just take a small packet here. You can give it a couple twirls if you want to, and then you can give it a flip over the top of the packet, sliding it off of the same one that was in the same hand. So you take one card and slide it down off the top, just like that. Absolutely stunning move. Looks just like that, and you can even finish it with only one card and give it a quick flip underneath the deck. And then the way that I do it, because that's the original way, is I actually grab it from a different corner and make it a little bit of a slight alteration on that as well. That way it gives it an extra little twist. You actually get an extra half a rotation when doing it my way. And that way when you're down to one card, you don't have to put it under the deck afterwards. So those are the two types of moves, and there's lots of stuff that you can do in your left hand while doing this move, whether you just want to do a couple of simple cuts. If you want to put it into 3 packets, you can put it in the middle of that, so you can go to here, then into the middle of a 3rd packet. You can do it with ATM. There's a lot of stuff that you can do with this move and with this grip. So now let me teach you how to do Legolove. First, we're going to start with the original version. So you're going to take the deck, put it in mechanic's grip in your left hand, so your thumb is going to be down the long left edge, index is on the top, and 3 fingers, middle, ring, and pinky along the right long edge. Your thumb of your right hand and middle finger of your right hand are going to contact the 2 corners that have the indices and values on them. So the values, indices, pips, the ones that have the indices and the values on them will be where your thumb and middle finger go. So if you are right-handed, it'll be the bottom left and top right corner. Pick up about 5 or 10 cards. Your index finger is then going to go on the top of this packet right here, and you can then flip it around a couple of times like this. So your index finger, if it pulls back, will then turn it all the way over. Then if you touch the long edge and pull back, it'll turn it back to where it originally was. Now, when you're first starting, especially with this way that he does it, you're going to be doing it without the twist on the first time because you won't have to. You're already in the right position. Your pinky is going to grab this face of the card on the bottom corner, and your ring is going to push against the bottom right corner. So, ring finger is going to go on the back, pinky is going to go on the face, and then you're going to peel that 3 of spades, or whatever is on the bottom, off from the rest of the packet. Now let me explain how to do this, because you'll be catching it in between your pinky and ring finger and then your middle finger. So those are the 3 spots where it's actually held between. So if I actually get rid of this packet, it should look like this. Pinky and middle on one side and your ring finger on the other. So you should be able to, if you get rid of the rest of those, extend it like that. Now the way to actually get it to peel instead of just moving your pinky over it over and over again is you're going to be pushing with your ring finger and pulling with your pinky. So if you do those against each other, that will help. And the other thing is having a lot of pressure with your middle finger and just a little bit of pressure with your thumb. So if you can start to do that, it should pull down, and then you should be about here. So once you've got it, you should then have it, see how it slid up that pinky? You're gonna want it to slide up there. So I'll show you again. Once you pull this off, you've got it here. Currently it's at this corner, is at the bottom of my pinky. And then as I push with my ring finger, it slides up my pinky. So I'll do this one more time. When you pull with your pinky, currently it's at the bottom, and then I start to push with my ring finger goes toward the top of the card, and my pinky has to slide up the pinky toward the tip of the pinky. So this is where I should be at the moment. Ring finger started down here, and it slid that way. The card started down here on the pinky, went up toward the top. Once you're here, you can then release with your pinky. You can cross all the way past. Your pinky is no longer touching it. Your index finger is then going to do that rotation thing I talked about, where you pull back and it rotates toward the back. Now I know that was a lot, so let me start from the beginning real quick. Thumb on the bottom left, middle finger top right. Take about 5 or 10 cards. Ring finger is going to be on the back, pinky's on the face. Pull with your pinky, push with your ring, pull that off. Ring finger goes toward the top of the card, goes up the pinky and past the pinky until it clears that pinky. So now my pinky can actually go past and on the back of the card. Index finger here on the short edge on the top, you're going to pull back until you see the face. And then once you're here on the face, you're then going to push with your index until you actually see the back. So now they should be on two different sides. Once you're here, you're going to push up toward the ceiling with your ring finger. What that'll do is it'll actually rotate it over the top of that middle finger. The other thing you can do is actually just rotate it this way so you can actually just see it without me even moving my ring finger. It already wants to fall over the top. Once you're at this point, take this left long edge of the one in your right hand and put it to the right long edge of the one in your left hand. So now if they're lined up like this and this comes over the top, if you release with your ring finger, it drops onto the back of that other card. At this point you can just lean it left and it slides onto the back packet of that. Now at this point, unfortunately, you wouldn't be able to move them directly into the next one. So since your index is here, if you rotate it once, you're now already back in position to grab it again and do the same move over and over and over and again on the back and slide it. The way that I do it is here's what I do. Instead of grabbing it with my thumb on the bottom left and middle and top right, I switch it. Thumb on the bottom right, middle on the top left. That way now once I rotate it, I can, instead of just picking it up, I start with a rotation with my index on that left long edge. That way now I'm grabbing it where my pinky's on the back design and my ring is on the face. That way once I've now done Legolove, done the rotation, I do the flip, and it hits the back of this, I now have to flip it over. So I get this extra turn from here to here that I did not have before. So you start with rotation, which you didn't last time. You do Legolove, and you get an extra rotation at the end. There's two extra rotations, 1 and 2. And the other thing is you get to do an extra rotation before you go into it again. So you've now finished Legolove. You're now there, you have to do the rotation again, and then you get to keep on doing these extra rotations, and it makes it absolutely stunning. So once you're there and you've finished now, you're on your last card, here's how you can end it. You're now here, one card, rotate it again. Once you're between these two, you don't have to do anything with your thumb and index like you would last time. Once you push up with your ring finger and it's now past the pinky, you can just flip it over that middle finger, and instead of landing it on a card here, you can just push it over with your index and it lands on the back design. Now if you need a great one for it to combo with, ATM is one I'd highly recommend because you're already in this position here. So you can take your ring finger here this time and shoot it there. So now you're already in the exact position you need to be in to go into Legolove. Again, you can shoot it off with ATM and then do the flip with Legolove. And it's a great combo to do between the two of them. I do in almost every single deck review, and if you want to check out how to do ATM, check it out right there. And if you want to check out some of the Jet Setter playing cards like this one right here, check it out right there. Subscribe for more cardistry tutorials just like this one, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. This is CPM, signing off.